been a while. I'm so sorry. I had a really busy November and December where I literally had something on every single weekend, which was crazy. But for the festivities, I think I might upload some of my TikToks to this because I made TikToks. I went to New York at the beginning of December, and it was just so busy. I was literally just filming in portrait for TikTok, but I might upload some of my shorts to YouTube, so we will see. But I am back with a theatre roundup of all of the shows that I saw in 2023. I've written a list. This year I think it was 13 or 14. I'll double check that. It's not as many as last year, being 18, but he's hoping for more in 2024, and I know that I'm still very fortunate to have seen as many as I have, which I am of course very grateful for. So I'm just going to double check how many I have actually seen. So it turns out I've seen 15 this year, so only 3 short of last year. Let's aim for 20 in 2024 if I can. Is that going to be doable? We shall see. Anyways, so let's get into it. First of all, Les Mis. Right at the start of the year in January, I saw Les Mis with my sister. I've seen it before, but I took her to see it, and she absolutely loved it. It was amazing. It's one of the classic musical theatre shows, obviously running for so many years in London, and it's incredible. If you haven't seen the film, then I suggest you can watch that to have a bit of a taster if you're not sure whether you should go and watch the musical or not. But it was absolutely brilliant as always. Incredible vocals, and it's just one of them shows that just give you goosebumps, you know what I mean? Like when they sing One Day More, I'm just like, oh my god, it's amazing. So I'm actually going to score them out of 10 because I did that last year, and I think I'd give Les Mis a solid 8.5 because it's just such a classic. You can always spot, by the way, it's actually really annoying me, because it's just a classic, and I don't feel like you can beat just, you know, MT through and through. Everyone knows Les Mis, everyone knows songs from Les Mis if you don't know the musical and the storyline, and yeah, it was brilliant. Next up we have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I believe I saw this in February, and I am not going to lie, if you like it then I apologise, but I'm not going to lie, I don't really like it. I don't actually think it's a very strong storyline with the musical. Like, I know that it's based off the film and obviously Roald Dahl's book, however, and that's a strong storyline, but I just feel like they cut things out in the musical. It's quite slow paced to begin with, and then I just didn't love it. I'm not going to lie, not my favourite. I think I would probably only give it like, it's quite low, but like 4, maybe a 5, pushing it. I don't really have too much to say about it. I just really didn't enjoy it, to be honest. Next up, also in February, I saw Tina Turner. So this was my mum's Christmas present from last year, because she really wanted to see it, and it was insane. It was amazing. As you can imagine, the vocals were just exquisite. They were amazing. I highly recommend that show. Tells you all about her life. Obviously all her songs are in it, and it's just a really good watch. I would massively recommend it, and I think I'm going to score that an 8 out of 10. Yeah, we'll get 8 out of 10. Next up, Bonnie and Clyde. I'm going to say my score first, 10 out of 10. And I say that because it's one of the best musicals I've ever seen. I think I've now seen 45 professional musicals, so you know, an okay amount, and yeah, it's definitely up there with, I'd say, top 3. It was incredible, and it is going on tour this year as well, in 2024, so if it's going to a theatre near you, catch it if you can, because it was just breathtaking. Would highly recommend it. Next up, Back to the Future, another great musical, and I just really enjoyed this one. I just thought the special effects were insane and next level, like nothing I've ever seen before, and it was just The acting was all brilliant. I saw Amber Davies in it actually, and it was just great. Special effects, followed the storyline of the films, and which I really like the films as well. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I'd highly recommend it. I'd say I would give that a 9 out of 10. Quite high scoring. Next up, Pretty Woman the musical. Another dream of a show. Honestly, it was just so good. I saw Amy Atkinson as Vivian, and if you are into musical theatre, you know she's just incredible. And yeah, really brilliant show. Again, follows the storyline of the film, and I really like the film. And it was just a really good watch, to be completely honest. Good songs, great acting, easy to follow storyline, and just very well put together. I would really recommend seeing that, and that's also going on tour, so catch it if you can. And I think I would give that 8.5 out of 10, which is actually quite high. So yeah, really recommend that. Next up, we've got The Bodyguard. So this was also really good actually. I saw this on tour, and it was just amazing. Incredible vocals, of course, and yeah, quite easy to follow the storyline, and it was just really enjoyable to watch. I just sat there, just sat back, relaxed, and watched it, and thoroughly enjoyed it. So I don't know if that's finished touring now. I feel like it might have. So if it ever goes on tour again, or if it is still touring, see if you can watch it. And I think I would score that at an 8 out of 10, because it was exceptionally good. I would definitely recommend it. Next up, we have 42nd Street. Again, I saw this on tour. I think it actually started at the Curve, and that's where I saw it. Might be made by the Curve, I'm not 100% sure, but the dancing in that, like, oh, wow, so good. I would really recommend it. It made me want to go away and just start doing dance lessons all over again, which I haven't done yet, even though I probably should, because it was just amazing. It was so good. And again, quite an easy to follow storyline, because I didn't really know much about it, and it was obviously very dancey, but that's kind of all I knew. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun as well, and the dance numbers are just, they're just so good. And yeah, quite like, I find it quite like upbeat, to be fair, like with the dancing and things. Not all of it, obviously, if you're aware of 42nd Street. But yeah, it was a very good musical that I'm very happy I've seen, and I'd probably give it a 7.5 or 8 out of 10, maybe like an 8. Really good. We Will Rock You. This is an interesting one, because I know the music from We Will Rock You, of course. Who doesn't? It's Queen. However, I didn't really know the storyline, and I found it very interesting, to say the least. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I'm glad I've seen it, but if someone asked me to see it again, I'd probably say no. Unless it's in a few years' time. Just because, I don't know, I just don't know, to be honest. I think it's a really good musical, brilliantly put together. It's just a bit weird, isn't it? And I think that's probably why some people like it. It's a bit different, but I just don't think it was for me. So I'd probably give it a 6, maybe. Don't get me wrong, it's good. It's just not what. Yeah, I don't know. I just give it a 6. I let everyone form their own opinions on that one. Next up, we have Book of Mormon. So this one was hilarious. If you want a funny musical, this is the musical for you. Adult humour only, I must say. However, brilliant, so good. It was written by the creators of South Park, I do believe, and I went to watch it with my dad and my stepmom and my sister. Luckily I was sat on the end, because some of the jokes you really don't want to have in front of your dad. But yeah, if you like that kind of South Park adult humour, this is definitely a musical for you. And I feel like it's a really good, like, I don't know how to like describe it. I feel like it's really good like introduction for someone that's not massively into musicals but is quite into like comedy. It's really good for that because it kind of introduces them to it, but in like, this is what musicals can be. It's not all just, although it is all singing and dancing as well, it's not just like, you know, Les Mis, for example. So yeah, really, really funny. And I'd give that probably an 8.5 out of 10 because it was brilliant. I would happily see it again. It was so good. Next up, we've got Annie. So I saw this on tour with Craig Revel Horwood in it. Brilliant show, really good. Obviously everyone knows Annie, classic story. And didn't disappoint. Really liked it. Children were all very talented. Had no complaints about it. Enjoyed it. Not really a lot to say about it because I feel like everyone just knows it. And I'd probably give that, I think, give it a 7.5. 7.5 out of 7.5 out of 10. I'm going to give it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Miss Saigon reimagined at Sheffield. Just take a moment. Insane. I have been wanting to see Miss Saigon for so long, but I missed it the last time it toured, unfortunately, which I believe was 2018. So when I saw there was in a reimagined, I was like, you know what? I am seeing it no matter what. So I went with my friend Max, and we were both like this, like in the interval, we were both just like, what? That was literally us. And then afterwards we went to stage door as well. I met Shanae Holmes because I think she's wonderful. I love her. And the cast were just ridiculously talented. They were amazing, and this show needs a West End transfer or a tour. Give it something because it deserves to be seen by so many more people. So it was only a very short run in Sheffield, and it really, really, really needs to be seen by more people. So if you got to see it, let me know down below how you thought it was, like what you thought of it, because I just had the best day. I'm not gonna lie. I cried, I was happy at times, I was everything. It was everything I could have wanted and more. The reason it's like reimagined is because it has a, well, it's a few bits, but one of the big things is it has a female engineer, but it just works so well, because me and my friend Max were like, how's this gonna work? But oh my God, did it work. Honestly, it was just amazing. I would highly, highly recommend it, and I think I'd actually give it a 10 out of 10 because it was just brilliant. I could just talk about it all day, so I'm not going to. But yeah, perfect that was. Perfect that was. It was perfect. Greece is up next. Saw this just before it closed in London because I missed it last year, so I was like, this year I was like, I have to see it. I love Olivia Moore. I think she's insane. I've seen her in a few things like Heathers when she made her debut, and Waitress, and I just want to see Greece anyway, and it was brilliant. So good, feel good. Everyone knows Greece. Feel good music, you know the storyline, easy to follow, great acting, great singing, great dancing, great all-rounder. Another great introduction really if you know are taking someone to a musical that's not really massively an MT person. Yeah, I'd give it an 8. It was really good, enjoyed it, all I have to say. Next up, Chicago. So when I went to New York, I went to Broadway. I was so excited, and I saw Chicago, and it was fantastic. It was so good, and I hadn't seen it before. I could have seen it in the UK at some point, but I just didn't. And I feel like a lot of time when I was at uni, like a lot of things were touring and I didn't get the opportunity to see them because I was at uni. But it was amazing. I knew the storyline anyway, and I knew like the songs and things, but it was a dream. It was so good, and the theatre's not very big either. So we had an amazing view. We were like at the front of like the back section. We had an amazing view. It was so good. If I can insert a picture, I will. And yeah, it was so good. The acting was just brilliant. It was funny. It was everything I expected it to be and more. and I just had a brilliant time. And seeing it in New York was just like the icing on the cake for me, because I really wanted to see a show in New York. And I've seen Wicked 4 times already, so although I could have seen that and it'd been different in America, and I just thought I want to see something new, something I've not already seen, because obviously The Lion King could have seen, but I've seen it, things like that. So yeah, it was an experience that I'm very happy and grateful I got to do. And hopefully I'll be able to do it again in the future for something else. Finally, the last show of the year that I saw in the middle of December was Evita. So this is a show that I bought for my mum's birthday because she's wanted to see it, since she was a teenager. And yeah, I took her to see it and we loved it. It was amazing. I am not going to lie, I really enjoyed it, but I struggled to understand the storyline in the first act. It was so fast paced, which I think I think it's meant to be, but it was so fast paced. I was literally like, what is going on? Like, because it's kind of like modern as well, because they used like I don't know if they do this in other productions or if it's just one I saw, but they used like technology, like cameras, and like follow her around, which was amazing. It was so good, it was so clever. But I was just a bit like, Mom, can you just explain to me what happened? And like at the end she kind of explained to me. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, like I understand this bit and this bit and this bit and everything, and I understood it as a whole. But in the interval I was a little bit confused. But yeah, it was really good. Very talented performers. They had kids in it as well at some points, which was lovely. They're not kids, but like younger, you know. And yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Now I've seen it, I would see it again, but I'm not like in a rush to see it again. Like, some things like Wicked, as I've said, I've seen so many times I could just see it. I saw it like twice within like 2 or 3 months last year, because I just loved it. But with this, I'm not in like a massive rush to see it again, because there's so much more I want to see. But give it a few years and I probably would. But yeah, it was really good, and I would probably give that, oh, I didn't rate Chicago, or did I rate Greece? I rate Greece an 8, I think I did that. Chicago, I think I'd give it an 8, an 8.5, maybe 8.5. And then Evita, I'd give it a 7.5, 7.5, because it was really good, but I think just because it was so fast paced and I struggled to understand it to begin with. But yeah, it was really good. So that is everything that I saw musical theatre wise this year. And yeah, I'm excited for shows. I've got some shows booked for next year already. I'm going to see, not so much musicals, but I'm going to see The Witches at the National Theatre with my friend January, so later on in the month. And I am also going to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which I've been waiting years to see. I don't know why I've not done it before now. So my mum brought me that for Christmas in March, which I'm very excited about, and I'm sure I'll be booking. I'm going to see Aladdin as well. But yeah, I just like doing these videos. I feel like they give a roundup. I'm always interested to see what other people have seen and what they would recommend and wouldn't recommend. I do post a lot on my TikTok as well about if I go to see a musical, I'll do like a day, like come and see Grease with me, for example. So if you'd like to follow that, then I'll leave it somewhere on the screen, wherever it may be. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up, and comment down below if you've seen any of these or if there's anything else that you would recommend that I do see. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all hopefully very soon. Bye.